Welcome to the Professor of Perseverance podcast. I'm Dr. James Purdue. Hey, the Professor of Perseverance himself. How you like that? Hey, thank you for coming back. And again, we're going to go with part two. We're going to finish up with Michelle Bulriss and continue on and finish up with her interview, her guest appearance, and sharing her journey. And appreciate again her. And there you are, Michelle. Again, thank you for coming back and spending part two with us. And again, it's your show. I'm just providing a platform. See how you see how it fits. See how deep you need. So go from there.
Okay.
Pick her up.
Well,
Pick her up where we left off.
from the last part, I was talking about how I finally reached my breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, this meant that I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I had episodes nonstop, and episodes with PTSD are basically flashbacks, but you're reliving them. So I physically, mentally, and emotionally was re experiencing my trauma, my rapes over
Yes.
and over again. And when that would happen, my entire body would shut down. I would tremble. I would shake really bad, but I couldn't process what was happening around me. Uh, Especially in the beginning, physical contact made it 10 times worse. So nobody could touch me, which was really hard for my family, especially my mom would always try to hug me and then make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really difficult for her to process. Um, but luckily, I moved forward. So I did a few things. I had a really great support network. Uh,
And I was
don't
going to get to that later, but yeah, great support network, family. I'm sure some close friends. I'm not sure if psychiatrist, psychologist. I'm not sure, but yeah, I was going to ask about your support group to help get through this.
Yeah, so some of the things that helped me the most was definitely my support groups and my family, my friends. Uh, you really see who truly cares about you when you're at your lowest point.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
I learned who my real friends were and who who I could really trust and uh, look to. Um, in addition to that, I got a lot of help from therapy, uh, psychology, psychiatry. Uh, and one of the biggest things that made a huge, amazing difference for me personally was I went to this clinic called Serenity Mental Health Centers, and they have uh, procedures that are specifically for people who have experienced extreme depression or PTSD and similar things. One of the first treatments that they offer is called a ketamine treatment. Um, that one isn't permanent, but it helps. It's basically uh, you're hooked up to an IV of ketamine and you have to sit there for an infusion for an hour or so. I don't remember exactly how long it was.
Uh huh.
And you do that a few times, and it basically um, lowers your inhibitions a little bit, makes it so you're not as scared to live life, if that makes sense. It kind of you're living in almost a shadow of yourself for a period of time, and ketamine kind of helps you to step out from under that,
Uh huh.
uh, at least in the short term. And it's really helpful when you're about to start the next step of the process, which for me was the best thing that I recommend to everyone, which was TMS, which is transcranial uh, mental stimulation.
Okay.
So, or magnetic stimulation, sorry. Uh, it's basically a giant helmet thing that you put on, and it uses magnets to
It tries to balance out your positive and negative ions into your capacity, mental
yeah,
capacity.
it
Yeah, there's
essentially is
a lot of
focusing.
people wearing those bracelets or anklets. Some people put them in their shoe, and it's to help balance off your negative and positives.
It's it's a known process where they target very specific portions of your brain that are
Okay.
not producing enough of certain chemicals,
Mm-hmm.
and the stimulation helps to reactivate those portions of the brain. So you produce more serotonin and stuff like that. So you're able to process things healthier.
Gets
Because
that
a
part of
lot
the
of
brain
times,
more active.
yeah, a lot of times there are areas of your brain when you experience severe depression or PTSD, anxiety, and everything that are simply parts of your brain that aren't uh, working as well as they should be. And this helps to kind of rebalance everything and gets you back in line. It's a process, it's not something that is a one time treatment thing. Uh, you go through, I don't remember how long it took me, 3 months. I don't remember exactly how many sessions there were.
Mm-hmm.
It was prescribed uh, based on how many um, they thought I needed. And it's something that you go to regularly every week, multiple times a week. You go and you sit and you have this therapy happen to you. It's a little scary at first, feels weird on your brain. Um, I feel like one of them felt like a woodpecker on my brain,
So okay.
um, but not unbearable or anything. It's just kind of an odd sensation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was life changing, completely life changing. It made it so I felt like myself again. Not immediately, but as I continued with my therapy and these treatments, uh, I'm the kind of person that I usually describe myself as a combination of Hermione from Harry Potter because I'm a nerd and a bookworm, and would definitely like a time turner because I have way too much stuff to do in life.
There you
um,
go.
and Jessica Day from New Girl, she's charmingly awkward and she sings to herself a lot. But I am definitely that kind of person. I always sing to myself. Uh, I'll sing about whatever I'm doing. It doesn't matter. Um,
I sing to
and
myself because no one else wants to hear me sing.
I don't know why I sing. It's just something where I'd rather,
It's therapeutic. It's meditation for you. It's a way to step out and get some enjoyment. So yeah, I can understand it.
yeah, even when I was preparing to test my microphone for this, it was like, hello, I am trying to test this right now. And
Oh, beautiful voice.
oh,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
But I sing to myself all the time. I make up songs and little ditties for everything because that's just, I'm weird like that.
That's
And
okay.
I stopped singing to myself when everything happened, when I started getting really depressed, when I started being in my abusive relationship. I stopped doing that. And it was something that I naturally do because my natural state is pretty happy. I'm normally a very cheerful, happy person. And
But
that's my normal. Like,
you had lost that characteristic or instincts due to the people. That's what they want to change you. So again, what do we say other that you feel worthless and you're not you anymore. So yeah, I can understand that you got out of your singing environment because that just wasn't you.
yeah. And music has always been something that I've been extremely passionate about. Like I said, I've toured the world singing and have done a lot with music, writing music. Um, but the first thing that really told me that it was working was when I came home. I started singing something randomly about what I was doing. I usually narrate what I'm doing in song, um, especially when I get bored.
Uh-huh.
But I had started doing that again, and that's kind of when I saw that I was becoming myself again.
That you
I
you
was
recognize you recognize your first step to recovery.
exactly, and it was night and day difference. Like the fear that holds you back is so strong, especially when you don't feel safe in your own skin,
Mhm.
which I know a lot of women and men experience. And earlier on, you said something about more women than men experiencing it. Uh, that's most likely true. But to be honest, men don't report as much as women, so we don't have the statistics to even compare.
I can
Uh,
and I can understand that because one, a man don't want other people to know that a woman's beating him because I'm man. I bring home everything. I do everything, and then they don't want to feel vulnerable and getting beat up by a woman. I can understand that they feel ashamed, more shameful that they're being abused than they would want people to know. I can believe, yeah, that it's not reported and it would not be a, whatever the statistic is, would not be a fair one to represent. I can believe that.
and it's the same thing with sexual abuse, like rape for men. Men won't come forward because society as a whole doesn't react well to it. Uh, there are places where you go to the police precincts and you will report something like that, and they'll straight up laugh at you. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrible. Um, but it happens, and
Yes.
it's not their
Yes.
fault. So we need to, as a society, speak up about these things in order to help people understand that they happen and that it's not their fault. We don't blame the victim. That's obviously not the right solution. Um, but because of everything that happened to me and where I was in my life, I realized that I needed to help communicate some of these emotions, experiences in a way that more people could understand. And because I've been an elementary school teacher and a college professor, um, I've basically taught everything except for high school. Sorry, guys, just not my specialty yet. But besides high school, I've taught a lot of different ages, and the one that I am most passionate about is elementary education because it focuses on learning things during a period in which the brain is like a sponge. It absorbs so much, and you can do so much more for the future if you focus on children at that age because they are the future. They will make the next big impacts. And this is the time to really get on their level and help them to
Yes.
understand things. So I decided to write a children's book, which is super cute. It's not, it's about harder topics, but I did it in like a fun, quirky way. So it has a happy ending and it doesn't like leave the children haunted by the concept. It just opens up the opportunity for conversation. Yeah. So that's my book, Sock Lobsters.
And Suck Lobsters. There you go. Is the name of the book.
Yep. And essentially, uh, the book focuses on loss and uh, the complex emotions associated with the grieving process. So I go through the stages of grief and actually name them and give them their proper names. So that way, children can understand them a little bit better. Um, I had my book out, but essentially, I have images that I drew because I illustrated and wrote my book, where I display one of the main characters, the socks. So the socks are named Sebastian and Lola, and I display them experiencing these emotions. So it's a lot of it is in the subtle expressions um, of my illustration, but it's you connect with it. You can understand that emotion when you see it. So it helps children to process it on a different level. And my overall goal now, because I think it turned out really well, was that I was going to use this to make a series of books about sock lobsters, and I created my own business. So right now, you see part of my website on the screen. You can see I have a T-shirt up that I made. It actually has the picture of my book cover on the back too. Um, and then I have a lot of socks. So I decided that with each book
Well,
release,
it is titled Sock Lobster.
exactly. So I thought it would be fun to design socks to go with each book. So with each book release, my goal is to release at least 2 custom designs of socks. So the ones that are on there right now, I have a couple ones that are um, not ones that I personally designed, but I have in stock that have like regular lobsters on them. And then I have my 2 designs that I customized, one of which is a fuzzy sock. It is amazing. I'm wearing them right now. I wish I could wear them every day because they're so comfortable.
There you
And
go. There you go. Yes.
they have non-slip bottoms, which I specifically designed so that way kids wouldn't fall and get hurt when they're running. And I have those in kids and adult sizes. And the same thing with my other design. You mind scrolling up just a little bit? There, the classic sock that I have there, the red and white one. That one has my 2 characters on it, and then it says sock lobsters on the cuff. So that's the other pair of socks that I designed. I just wanted to have ones that were special to commemorate the book itself. And I'm already working on the second book and designs for it. And I also have translations in Spanish, and I'm working on a Mandarin translation. It's almost done. So my goal was to try and help spread this message and help children to be more open and communicate so that way they can develop empathy, which is my real goal, because I think that empathy helps children to grow into more kind, loving adults. And I think it prepares them for a better future.
Let's
So,
mention before we move on. Let's mention about your donate to children's literacy and
oh,
on your
yes.
website.
So one of my options on my website is you can buy my book, but essentially you're buying it for someone else. You can specify if there's a particular person, organization, anything that you would like it to be sent to, or you can give me the option and I will pick a place that could use it. So right now I have quite a few people who are using it in therapy. I know a lot of therapists who have been using it with their patients, which is really exciting. They've said it's been really effective. And I know a lot of teachers who have added it to their classroom libraries. I've sent it off to a few nonprofits as well. If you know nonprofits that work with children, hospitals, any kind of mental health center or center that works with children. The next, um, the next goals and the next areas that I plan on targeting for my message is to try and address the foster system and adoption and some of the issues that people experience due to different racial tensions. And I'm moving on from there. I already have ideas for the third book, but I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
So,
And you did say early that when you were young, what did you want to do? Save the world. All right. So you can, one piece at a time, one book at a time, one pair of socks at a time, different areas like you're talking about can reach out and save a small part of the world. And then hopefully, like you said, people will donate to the children's literacy and they can pass that book on to help save even more people that you don't even know who they are and who they belong to, and but you know it's helping someone.
Yeah, definitely. And I love hearing stories about it. So if you do get my book and it helps you, please reach out and let me know. If you hate it and think it could be better, let me know too. My goal is to help people. I'm not trying to just become a business tycoon. My goal is to help as many people as I can, and I can reach a wider audience as an author and illustrator than I can as a teacher in one classroom. I'd rather teach multiple classrooms. So this is where I've kind of been pushing myself to try and turn my trauma into something that can be a lesson that can help other people.
You can triumph over trauma. So there we go. You know, the sad thing is a lot of us are going to go through one trauma, basically one something, loved one dying, parent dying, one basically. But I mean, spinal cord injury, hopefully that's all I'm going to really have. Hopefully. But, cancer, heart attack, something. But we're all going to go through at least one major trauma. But for you, going through multiples, again, I don't. I apologize for these men that they don't represent the whole, and you know that. But for them, I just have I have nothing to say. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't know why they think they have to be like that. The I'm in a wheelchair, so if I hit anybody, it'd be like a fly landing on their arm because I don't have the strength to hit them anyway. So they hit me harder, so I wouldn't hit a woman because she could hit me harder than I could. So, but yeah, I apologize for them, but I'm so thankful that you've able to get to the other side. And again, we mentioned earlier about your fiance, how he became a spiritual life jacket to help save your life and realize that there's still good in the world.
I like to call him my mountain. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he he went through a hard breakup because he was engaged before we met, and uh, afterwards he watched a lot and looked up a lot of information about relationships and how to have a really healthy relationship and things that he could be doing better. And one of the biggest lessons that he learned was from a video that basically described how your goal is to be someone's mountain, something that is steady and strong that you can depend upon uh, time after time. And that's what he is for me. And
That's
I was really
awesome.
lucky to find him.
Oh, well, you don't use the word luck. You were blessed. And it's one of them things that I say was meant to be. And again, I mentioned my friend Bird earlier, but Bird, his father says, and before he told me his father said before, there's no such thing as coincidence. That's God being anonymous. So God was definitely looking to seek, and he's realized that you got through to the other side. Thankful, sent you some help, love, and so it's more than luck. It's being blessed.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see, but the painting I have in the background is a painting I did as a present for him. So that's my fiance Landon in the background.
There we go. So now, go ahead and tell us your name of your website, so in case people want to come to it.
Socklobsters.com. It's really easy. The book title is the same title as the website and the business. If you type in sock lobsters, it comes up pretty fast on Google. You'll be able to tell. Uh, it's also on Amazon, and I'm working on getting my socks on Amazon right now. Just my book is on Amazon, but I'm working on that process. It'll be done soon, hopefully. Please leave reviews if you do look into this. I love reviews, and I need as many as I can get. Uh, all the feedback is extremely helpful.
And again, I'm the same as you. If somehow I've helped you, please let me know. But I've come to realize and learn, and I've talked about this before, that we're not going to know every time we've helped someone. We just
Oh,
know in
definitely.
faith that somewhere the seeds been planted somehow, hopefully, and hopefully they flourished from however they got. Like I got my first book is called One More Play: How I Got Injured, and I had two people come up to me, and two different times. They're about a year apart, but both of them the same story is about the same. They said, "Hey, I read your book," and I said, "Really?" I said, "Could you tell me how you got it? Did you order it? Did you see it online? Did you try to guess? Did someone refer it to you? Did you find it in a trash can, laying in a gutter? How did you come and get the book?" And both of them told me. Uh, One of them told me one time. First thing he said was, "I read your book 4 times," and I'm thinking in my head, "Oh yeah, right, sure, 4 times." That's what I'm thinking in my head. I didn't say it to him, but then that's when I asked, "How'd you find it?" And both of them told me, both of them again, a year apart, that they were. One of them's a female, one's a male, and they both said, "I was locked up in the county jail, and your book is in the library." So my first book, I got more than one now. First book is in the county jail lockup facility in their library, and I know that it has helped two people.
That's
And
awesome.
so now, how many other inmates, I have no idea, but I hope that they are getting something out of it. And I don't know how my book got there. I have two other friends. Both of them said that they sent the book on to them, to the library in the county jail. So, what I'm saying is, you're not going to know everybody. You just know that you're pushing it. Hopefully, other people are pushing it. Even if someone buys it and then gives it away to someone. So, you're again slowly saving the world.
That is the goal.
So, all right. So you can go to Michelle's website again is socklobsters.com, and there's a link to click on that says shop, so you can go shop and buy the book or socks and share it out
Or
with
both.
people, or both, exactly, or both. But it's never too early to buy Christmas gifts and stash them away. So somebody's birthday's coming up, anniversaries, Mother's Day's coming here soon, and Father's Day. Something's always coming up. So invent a day, just buy them and give it to somebody, and just say, "I was thinking of you," to help them out. So, well, Michelle, I appreciate you being on here and sharing your story. Again, I'm so sorry for everything you've been through, but I'm so blessed that you came across me, that our paths crossed, that knowing that you are helping somebody today, tomorrow, 100 years from now. Somebody, they say stuff stays on the internet. And so 100 years from now, whatever they call this, someone's going to stumble across and you're going to help them. So I appreciate you being on. And can you do one last thing here for us?
Of
There's
course.
people that are struggling, hurting. That again, we know of people, we don't know of people, but we know it's going on. Can you leave a positive message that's going to help someone get through today?
Absolutely. Uh, so, first of all, if you are struggling, reach out for help. There's nothing to be ashamed of when you're reaching out for help. If you need to reach out to me, there's contact information on my website. You can contact me anytime. I can't guarantee how fast I'll answer because I'm crazy busy, but I will try and get back to you. People are here for you more than you would expect. And you are much, much stronger than you realize. The fact that you are still here today, the fact that you are watching this, tells me that you have that will to make it through. And if you just focus on that and let it blossom, you will find yourself growing into a much stronger individual, and you'll realize that you can help other people with these things as well.
People are watching you to see how you handle situations, because they feel they're not as strong as you are, and so they're watching you to get out of something, and they're going to use that whatever to try to help themselves as well. So, Michelle, thank you again. Appreciate everything. Be sure to tell fiance I said hello again, and it was
I
nice
will.
meeting him. And much success with Sock Lobsters. Again, go to the website and I'll put it in the description, socklobsters.com. For anyone else that's coming in, thank you for the replay. Thank you for coming out. Share to someone you know this is going to help. Again, you don't have to be a spinal cord injury like me. Do not have to be in an abusive relationship. And for that, the message across the board is providing hope to let people know that the end of the tunnel is there, the light at the end is there, and know that it's not a freight train coming, that it's really ending and good things will be coming soon. Everyone else, do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.
You've got this.